Jnanam Paramam Dheyam. Knowledge is supreme.
So today I'm slowly taking you on to the angular momentum. Okay, some bit we have already seen from Stern-Gerlach experiment and also from hydrogen atom, but the formalism you should know what exactly goes in the angular momentum algebra, how the states are defined, how we find under the operation of the ladder operators similar to the raising and lowering operators in the harmonic oscillator, what happens in this case. So this is what we started in the last lecture last week. So let me continue with reviewing the Schwinger method oscillator model of angular momentum, and then we will get on to how to see what is the rotation operation is the one which corresponds to the angular momentum. Okay. So this is the theme for today. So recall what I was trying to do in the last lecture. So I was trying to say that let's take two independent oscillators with two A and A dagger as the raising and lowering operators, for the one oscillator and B dagger for the other oscillator, but they are independent. What that means is that the commutator of any of the A operators with the B is 0. So we wanted to construct the angular momentum operators using these four operators. Okay, so that is what we were trying to do. If we take J plus to be this, the order really doesn't matter because they commute. You could put B A dagger also, doesn't matter, right? So if you take J plus, it's not Hermitian. If you take the Hermitian of that or the dagger of that conjugate, you get J minus, and J minus is this. Is that right? Then I said that the angular momentum algebra, please go back and use the angular momentum algebra to determine what is J3 constructed out of these two operators. So this is a representation for the J plus and J minus in terms of two harmonic oscillator operators, and using this representation we want it to be satisfying an angular momentum algebra which will give you what should be the representation for J3. So J3, if you work it out, it will be the difference between the number operator for the harmonic oscillator given by A, which I call it as N subscript A. Similarly, that's the number operator minus the number operator corresponding to the B harmonic oscillator given by the operators B and B dagger. Please verify this. Once I know J plus, J minus and J3, can I write J dot J in terms of J plus, J minus and J3? Someone? What will that be? Right? So can I write this Jx squared plus Jy squared as J plus J minus? Is this correct? I need to do this. Why? Because J plus and J minus don't commute. So what is J plus and J minus? Jx plus Ijy. J minus is Jx minus Ijy. Is that right? So if you take the product of these two, it is Jx squared plus Jy squared, but you also have a Jy Jx, Jx Jy, which don't commute. So you need to take the other combination so that that cross term cancels. Classically, you could have just written it as a product. Quantum mechanically, you have to symmetrize it so that It takes care of that J plus and J minus don't commute. So you've seen that J plus with J minus is twice J3 H cross. Maybe I missed the H cross there, I should put the H cross. This can be derived from using the fact that Jx, Jy is IH cross Jz. Use this fact and you can derive this. So Jx squared plus Jy squared is this, and Jz squared you can just write it, add to it, and that will give you the J dot J. J dot J will be J plus J minus J plus by 2 plus Jz squared. So the J plus is given to you and J minus is given to you. J plus is given to you in terms of these harmonic oscillator ladder operators, two commuting harmonic oscillators, two independent harmonic oscillators, and J3 you have derived, but if you have not done, please go back and check this. And using this, find what is J dot J. Please work it out. If you work it out, this is also an exercise for you. You will get the result for J squared. So each one has a H cross. So when you take a product, there will be H cross squared. Substitute in terms of the representations involving A dagger and B dagger. Finally, it can be neatly written as the sum of the number operators, half the sum of the number operators, multiplied with half the sum of the number operators plus 1. Please verify this, but please check this out, and you need to use those properties which I gave you. Don't write blindly Jx squared plus Jy squared as J plus J minus, you will not head anywhere. You have to write the symmetric combination divided by 2. Is that clear? So what next? J3 operating on eigenstate and J squared operating on eigenstate, they are simultaneous eigenstates, right? Because J squared commutes with J3. So what are the eigenvalues of the number operators of a harmonic oscillator? It starts from 0. The number operator eigenvalue starts from 0 and goes on. There is no upper bound. Similarly, the number operator for B operator is also similar. They are independent. It's not required that the number operator eigenvalue of Na, if you find it to be in the first excited state, number operator Nb can be in the second excited state or some other excited state or ground state. They are independent oscillators. So the eigenvalues of the operator J Na plus Nb by 2, suppose you take the sum of the number operators, half the sum of the number operators, what will be the eigenvalues looking like? Half integers, right? It could be integers or half odd integers. So let's call that as J to make contact with angular momentum. J, you know that it could be integer, including 0 and half odd integers. Very beautiful. Naturally comes the angular momentum algebra. When we try to do this Na plus Nb by 2, the 2 factor is very interesting. It allows for J which can be integers or half odd integers. We will call this as J. We will see the meaning very soon, why we call it as J. What is the range of the J3 eigenvalue? You would have blindly written J3 eigenvalue as MH cross, and you would have said MH cross should go from minus J to plus J. That is what you would have said from the hydrogen atom problem. Does it fit in here? It is Na minus Nb for a given J. If suppose Na is 0, Nb has to be J, which means the J3 eigenvalue will be a minus JH cross. If Nb is 0, it is plus JH cross. For any arbitrary values which is non-zero, you are restricted it to be J. So therefore, the J3 eigenvalues of M should go from minus j2 plus j. It comes natural. Isn't it interesting? I don't know. I constructed an algebra using two harmonic oscillators and I insisted that this is an angular momentum algebra and I am just trying to explore what are the eigenvalues. What is the eigenvalue of j squared? H cross squared j into j plus 1, which is exactly what you have studied. And the range of m comes natural. It goes from minus j to plus j. So, the m explicitly is difference between the two number operators and similarly the j in the j squared eigenvalue is the sum, half the sum of the number operators. This is what is the identification. You identify that if you take two harmonic oscillators, half the sum of the number operators of both the harmonic oscillator should be identified as the angular momentum j and the magnetic quantum number m will be half the difference between the number of. Once I take that, then my range of m is automatically fixed to be minus j to plus j. Any questions on this? So, range of m goes from minus j plus 1, the highest value you can take is plus j. Okay, so this method gives states jm with j being integer or half odd integers naturally and the total number of states jm with the same j squared eigenvalue is m goes from minus j to plus j. How many are there? M is going from minus j to plus j. So, this number of states with the same j squared eigenvalue will be 2j plus 1. You can also rewrite the eigenvalue of Na in terms of j and m. We will see why we want to do this, right. Given Na plus Nb by 2 is j, Na minus Nb by 2 is m. You can try to write Na as eigenvalue of the number operator with j plus m and similarly the eigenvalue of the number operator b is j minus m. Will this always be integer? Yes or no? J minus m, it has to be integer. J is half odd, then m also is half odd. So, the difference between two half odd will be integers or the sum will be integers. Very beautiful. Conversely also it is right, it is consistent. If you start getting the number operator eigenvalues to be half odd integers, we are stuck. We can't use this. Right? Now, what do we want to do? We can work either with these two independent harmonic oscillator with Na and Nb eigenvalues, rewrite the states of the J3 operator in Na and Nb eigenvalues, or you can even rewrite it in terms of the small j and small n. That is what we would like to do. Okay? So, let us do that. So, what did we see? We saw that Na operator, it could operate on a state which is Na and Nb. It could give me Na. I can write a state as a simultaneous eigenstates of both the oscillators because they commute. Similarly, Nb is that right? I can do this. I can also write Na as j plus m and Nb as j minus m. And look at what is J3. J3 is nothing but H cross times Na operator minus Nb operator by 2. Right? I can do this. What will you get? H is H cross Na minus Nb by 2. And Na minus Nb is nothing but 2m by 2 will be m you will get H cross M. You can rewrite, instead of using NA, NB, I can also write it as JM. There is no problem. It's synonymous or equivalent. We have a representation for the angular momentum operators in terms of the ladder operators of the harmonic oscillator. I can play back and forth. No harm in doing this. Is that right? I can do this. So, formally, I would say that I can either use NA comma NB, which is equivalent to NA is J plus M and NB is J minus M, which I can formally write it as J comma M. Either the state can be denoted by NA comma NB, or I can denote the state by J comma M. There is no problem. Where the relation between NA and NB to J and M is exactly this. Okay. What is the next thing you need to do? J3, it was an eigenstate. We need to do like the way we did in harmonic oscillator, how the A operates on the number operator eigenstate. It was not an eigenstate of A or A dagger. We tried to determine what does A do and what does A dagger do. Right? We want to do a similar thing here. Right? How do we do this? Very simple now. You can write any arbitrary number state with an arbitrary NA and NB in the harmonic oscillator context, two independent harmonic oscillator, as if you have this raising operator NA times on the ground state or vacuum state with this normalization, and similarly the B dagger NB times with this normalization on the ground state. So, this is an operator representation or operator acting on vacuum, which will give you any arbitrary state of two independent harmonic oscillator. Also saying verbally what this mathematical equation means. Now we are going to use the fact that NA, NB is nothing but connections with the angular momentum, magnetic quantum number and the J quantum number is this. So, do this J3 on Jm is MH cross Jm. This is what I derived for you. Let us work out J plus on Jm is nothing but A dagger B H cross. That is a representation in terms of the harmonic oscillator operators. The J plus. That was my first slide in the Schwinger method. But you know how the B operates, how the A operates. So, let us do this just for. So, I want to know what is J plus on Jm. J plus has a representation which is A dagger B H cross. So, you want to operate J plus on Jm is equivalent to J plus on Na equal to J plus M and Nb equal to J minus M. The same, the state is the same. And here I can operate A dagger B, H cross is anyway a number, Na equal to J plus M, Nb equal to J minus M. What will B do? B will operate on the first state or the second state? B will operate on the number state Nb. What will it do? Recall for me what is B on Nb. What is B on Nb? Root Nb times Nb minus 1. What about A dagger on Na? Root Na plus 1 times Na plus 1. Let us use that fact. What will this give us? It will be root of Na plus 1, root of Nb on Na plus 1, Nb minus 1. Na is j plus m, Nb is j minus m. What happens to the J3 eigenvalue and the J eigenvalue? J eigenvalue is same, which is what you expect. J3 is increased by 1. Okay. So, we can rewrite this as H cross. Instead of Na, I will put it as J plus M plus 1. Instead of Nb, I will put it as J minus M. Is that correct? Nb is J minus M. Na is J plus M. And what will I write here? I can write this as J. J doesn't change. M changes to M plus 1. There is one more thing you can check. If M is J, this also you know. You can't go to J comma J plus 1, right? M range is from minus J to plus J. What is J plus on J comma J? So, we find here J plus on Jm to be square root of J minus M, J plus M plus 1, H cross on J M plus 1. This is what we find. What is J plus on Jj? Is 0. Or equivalently, this is also making sure that your M don't go above J. Unlike your harmonic oscillator, we have an upper cutoff also. In harmonic oscillator, there is a lower cutoff that you cannot go below 0 in the number eigenvalues. But the upper eigenvalues can go anywhere. But here you see that there is a upper bound also. Redo the same thing for J minus. Can you do the same thing for J minus? All of you. What is the operator for that? AB dagger on Na and B. We will substitute later. What happens? This will be A will give you Na. B dagger will give you Nb plus 1 and state Na will shift to Na minus 1, B will shift to Nb plus 1. What happens to the J eigenvalue? What happens to the magnetic quantum number? Rewrite. J is same but M shifted by minus 1. So, let us rewrite Na as J plus M, J minus M plus 1, right. I am substituting Na as J plus M, J plus M and Nb as J minus M. This is what I am doing. And this I can write it as M minus 1. Is that right? So, this is like a raising operator which takes the magnetic quantum number by 1 unit up with this coefficient, and this coefficient we have tried by writing a representation for J plus in terms of ladder operators of two independent harmonic oscillator, and we have figured this out. We could do this independently from the algebra, but right now I have done it by the Schwinger method. And we see that there is an upper bound, that the raising operator cannot go to infinity if it operates on this Jj, where the magnetic quantum number is same as the J squared quantum number. It is going to be 0. What happens for J minus? Minus J. M equal to minus J if I operate. Look at this eigenvalue, it will become. So, what do we get? We get states for a specific J, it goes from minus J plus 1 dot 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 and there is an upper bound which is plus j for the magnetic quantum. For a given j eigenvalue, this m magnetic quantum number will take values from minus j to plus j. So, this multiplied with a given j or all states with a given j will be 2j plus 1. So, just to re-go over it on the slide. So, this is what we did, and you can try to write j3 eigenvalue as mh cross, and then j plus. If you try to do this, you will get Na to be raised to 1 and Nb to be decreased by 1, which you can write it as j and magnetic quantum number increased by 1. The j does not change, and you have rewritten all these Na eigenvalues and Nb eigenvalues in terms of j plus m and j minus m. And this is a rising operator which has this property that there is an upper cutoff as m cannot exceed j. And you see this naturally. When you do this, you do see that when j equal to m equal to j, this term becomes 0. So, similarly, j minus is a lowering operator, and we have done this also now, and the lowering operator has a lower cutoff. It cannot go beyond m equal to minus j. So, you can check this out. Please re-verify things. You can rewrite it as a lowering operator. Okay, so just to summarize, we have derived using representation of angular momentum obtained using two independent oscillators, and we want to, main aim was to keep in mind the angular momentum algebra generated out of them. That is, they have to satisfy this. Okay, j plus j minus is twice j3 h cross, and with j3 the two ladder operators, the raising operator in the angular momentum context which has an upper cutoff, can't go indefinitely, and minus is the lowering operator. This has to have plus or minus j plus or minus times h cross. Okay. So, this is what we call it as a angular momentum algebra. What you could do is, just like we did for the harmonic oscillator algebra, this is for you to check, we will discuss this on Friday. Independently take it to be a simultaneous eigenstate of j dot j and j3, which is j comma m. Use this algebra to figure out that j plus and j minus will reduce the m by plus or minus 1 or change the m by plus or minus 1, and we need to fix the coefficient. Is there a systematic way in which you can fix the coefficient? Just like the way we did for the harmonic oscillator, and we fix root Na and root Na plus 1. I want you to do it just per se looking at this algebra without using Schwinger method of two independent oscillator. That was a representation or a dress for this algebra, and we derived this top two. But can we derive these two by just looking only at this algebra without giving a representation or dress in this fashion? By dress or representation, I mean we wrote j minus in terms of the ladder operators of the harmonic oscillator. Now we don't give anything, but we just look at this algebra alone, and can you fix that? You get j minus is this and j plus raises it by 1 unit with this explicit coefficient. I leave it you to try it out yourself, and we will discuss.